Good morning. My name is JohnR23, and today I will be preaching on King Asa in 2 Chronicles 14 through 16. But before we get started, I have great news. I have the solution for all your problems. Seeking the Lord is your best choice. You know, it's easy to seek God when life is going well. For example, it's easy to seek God while being at Uplift at Church Camp here at Harding University. Because when you go from a week of studying the Bible and worshiping God, it makes you want to keep seeking God and spend more of your free time reading the Bible and praying. Also, when you go to any church camp, you just want to keep studying. It makes it easier to seek the Lord. But, on the other hand, when things are going good, some people stop seeking the Lord because things are happening the way they want. Seeking the Lord is always your best move. We learn about Asa, king of Judah, in 2 Chronicles 14. Now I'm going to read verses 2 through 6. Asa did what was good and right in the eyes of the Lord his God. He removed the foreign altars and the high places, smashed the sacred stones, and cut down the Asherah poles. He commanded Judah to seek the Lord, the God of their ancestors, and to obey the laws and commands. He removed the high places and incense altars in every town in Judah, and the kingdom was at peace under him. He built up the fortified cities of Judah since the land was at peace. No one was at war with him during those years, for the Lord gave him rest. In the story of Asa, we see a lot of examples of good things he did because he sought the Lord. Some of those things were he removed the high places and incense altars in every town in Judah. He also accomplished many military victories due to equipping an army, and with that army, he crushed the Cushites. Asa's success was all because of one thing and one thing only. He sought the Lord. Look with me in verse 1 of chapter 15. This is where we find a challenge to Asa from the prophet Azariah. Azariah comes to Asa and tells him that he must continue to always seek the Lord and not give up. Because if Asa would do this, God would be with him. Long story short, due to the challenge from Azariah, Asa decides to get rid of the idols from the land of Judah and repair the altar in the temple. Asa goes so far with his reforms that he even kicks out his own grandmother from the royal family due to her making of an image of Asherah. For years, Asa sought the Lord, and because of that, the Lord God was with him. As verse 9 of chapter 15 states, life seemed to be going pretty well for Asa. I mean, now that the Lord has blessed him, he can stop seeking the Lord now, right? Wrong. In chapter 16 of 2 Chronicles, we see adversity rise up in the life of Asa, and instead of seeking the Lord like he used to, he decides to look for help in other places. We must always seek the Lord. I mean, it is hard to seek the Lord when life is hard, but it must always be done. So you get bad news, like your mom gets really sick and needs to seek medical attention soon. You have to put your pet down, or your best friend is moving. Seeking the Lord is still your best move. Back in the story of Asa, he faced difficulties and adversity when the kings of Israel fortified Ramah to prevent anyone from leaving or entering the territory of Asa, king of Judah. Instead of turning to God, he tries to buy the help of the king of Syria. Let's read 2 Chronicles 16, 7 through 10. At that time, Hanani the seer came to Asa, king of Judah, and said to him, "Because you relied on the king of Aram, and not the Lord your God, the army of the king of Aram, the army of the king of Aram has escaped from your hand. Were not the Hushites and Libyans a mighty arm with great numbers of chariots and horsemen? Yet, when you relied on the Lord, he delivered them into your hand. For the eyes of the Lord range throughout the earth to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to him. You have done a foolish thing, and from now on you will be at war." Asa was angry with the seer, and because of this, he was so enraged that he put him in prison, and at the same time, Asa brutally oppressed some of the people. Asa has failed, and Hanani the seer tells Asa it was all because he did not seek the Lord. So what do you do when you failed? What Asa did was he was so enraged with the prophet, he put him in prison. Because Asa did not seek God, God gave him a foot disease, and even through the foot disease, Asa only sought help from the physician. 2 years later, Asa, king of Judah, died of that foot disease. Seeking the Lord is your best move. So I challenge you today to seek the Lord in the good times and in the bad times. Seek the Lord, just like in the story of Asa. We see that when we seek the Lord, he is with us no matter the circumstance or the problem. When we as Christians decide to seek God first, God is able to work in our lives, and through our lives we can serve the Lord and do good for the kingdom. So I leave you with one thing: seek the Lord.